Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in today. It was lovely to spend time with you yesterday and I hope you had a really lovely weekend. So, start of another busy week here. And I thought today I'd come in with something a little bit different. I've been having great fun recently creating borders with our Lavinia low-tack masking tape and just coming up with different designs for cards, a bit geometric but something just for fun, just to add a bit of spice in life. We need a bit of that, don't we? So this is the one we're going to create today. But just to show you a couple of others that I've done recently, look, just diagonally across the card, makes a lovely design. And again, you know I love my little panels. And you can do multiples of this. Honestly, if Mr. Mojo's gone or you've had a bit of a rough time or I know a couple of you caring for relatives and it's not easy and you know, you do just get a bit fed up and life can be so tough. And a lot of the time it's not our fault. And you know, so if you want to just create some fun designs like this and then you can pretty them up with your stamping, change the colours, change the shapes. Honestly, it's great fun. This is to go on a DL card. So the size I've gone for is, and I did measure it, but I've forgotten what it was, 7 3/4 by 3.5 inches. And that's just because for me, this was the size of my DL card. So basically cut your topper to match. This is multifarious card. And for whatever size card you're putting it on, just go accordingly. But basically, the way I do it is to just mark the middle. And so I'm just roughly, and again, this is just by eye, I'm roughly marking the middle of each of these sides. Just to give me an idea. Just with a pencil. Dead easy. And then Lavinia low-tack masking tape. Now, again, if you're not good at judging where the middle is for this, again, you can put a pencil line down. I just do it by eye, so I roughly look. Now, that's about the middle in that corner. Just want to check you can see. I can see through the tape. So, again, I'm going to go for my pencil line, which is here, and just put that roughly again in the middle of the tape. So I'll do the same on this side. Yeah, that's roughly in the middle. And that'll do for me. Again, handmade card, you know. So again, I'm just doing it by eye. That'll be good, I can't even see it. Oh, it's there. Right, happy with that one. But as I say, there are so many different shapes that you can make. And once you start, I just found it was such fun. Oh, that'll do nicely there. Yep, happy with that. Now, obviously, I've done mine portrait, but if you wanted, this would be a lovely design for landscape. And if you're stuck for a design for, say, a male friend and you've no idea what to do, maybe choose the colours of, say, his favourite football team. Or does he have favourite colours? You could go vintage, use browns, and then you could decide what to stamp, you know, even if you just had a sentiment and various things. So many stamps that you can use. So we're going to start, right, the colours I'm going for. I'm going to start within the middle. I love the lemon drop. So we're going to go lemon drop, and I've got my size 9 brush, and as always in the lid, and I'm just going to come in round the edges. And with the lemon drop, I want a lighter area in the middle. Almost like a sunny area, a focal point to get your eyes to go right into that middle. So I'm always starting, and again, if it's new ink, it'll be full of colour. So always start on that tape and just drag that colour in and then go around when you've got less ink on your brush. We've got that lovely sort of ombre, that white. So I'm happy with that. So that's lemon drop. And then I've gone for lime punch. And lime punch is going in this triangle. Now this one I've had a while, so I'm not blending in the lid. I'm actually going to come straight in and off the tape and then down the side. And just blend. And again, you'll know your ink pads. You'll know how much blending you need to do to get that lovely colour. And then I'm going this triangle as well. I nearly said a corner, honestly. You can decide, you could put a different colour in each. You could put the same colour. I mean, again, like I say, it is just such fun. Oh, I've noticed that there. Look, I've got that. I don't want that, do I? So let me just bend that over. That would that annoy me? Yes, it would. See, I even asked myself questions. Would that annoy me? Yes, it would, Jo. Honestly, are you like that, or is it just me? I seem to be getting worse as I'm getting older. Right, at the top, pink elephant. I love pink elephant, but also juicy. Look, this I definitely have to blend in the lid. So again, I'm being mindful to definitely blend off my tape. And I may not even need to re-ink this much because I've got so much colour on my brush. I can work that. Don't re-ink if you've got the colour. Work that ink that's on there. I think that'll be enough, look. Just blend that ink. It's designed to blend, so move it round, yeah? Happy with that? So let's see if I can pick up from the lid and do this triangle the same. See how much ink we picked up. Let's blend. I think we may need just another inking on this, but let's blend it and see. Make that ink go as far as you can. Maybe just one more. But again, this is just from the lid. Last one. That's really, I love the rich colour. Yep, happy with that one. And the last one I've gone for is Mermaid. So my blue of choice is Mermaid. And again, we're going in these triangles here. Now, it might be you want an ombre, and you could start and do an ombre all the way down. Now, that would be lovely. Say, choose your blue and have light. Done the same there, look. Must be having one of them days. Go light, medium and dark, but go across the three. Now, that would be lovely. See, now I'm talking myself into I might have to try that. But I find often with crafting, that's what happens. You start with one design and your mind wanders and then you want to do another. And that's what I love about it. So if Mr. Mojo's gone, just create a background just for fun. And even put it to one side because you might not need it. But then you might suddenly need a card. And wouldn't it be great if that background was perfect? Right, happy with that one. So just a quick spritz here and clean this up. And then we can get with some lovely stamping. Nice clean area. We like a clean area, don't we? Don't know about you, it doesn't stay clean for long. But we can try my trusty copy of paper. Now, I'm going to stamp the middle bit first. And I'm going to use the word nature. And this is off the Harmony set. And I'm just going to use the black, the Nocturn today. So it's the Versafine Clair. Now, it would be an ideal time if you love your coloured inks, you could add some coloured inks. But I thought, because it's the first time I'm playing with this design, that I would just stick to stamping in black. But I think you could easily take it to the next level by adding more colours. Now, my little fledgling, I have fallen in love with these little birds. And yes, you'll probably get sick of me using them on everything. Now, again, I always say this, I'm just going to have to put my head right over because I want to stamp him right on top of the N for nature. But what I thought was funny, and this is probably just my head and I probably shouldn't share it with you, I think it looks funny because I think it makes him look like he's got long legs, like he's a bit of a stork. So it's a bit of a play on the N for the nature and giving him longer legs. Now, you're probably laughing, thinking, Jo, the way your head works. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe that's oversharing. So when it comes to the rest of them, I had a look at my stamps and what I had. And I love this one off the Dill and Sage pots. So I knew I wanted to include this one. And again, I've gone for a nature theme. Now, it could be you could have, we've got lots of lovely silhouette fairies that would look fabulous. As I say, think of all the themes. I mean, the cheeky mice. You could have a cheeky mice card. You know, I cannot wait to see what you come up with. I love the small shrooms. And I've gone for mainly silhouettes because with stamping in black, I really wanted them to stand out, that the design was quite bold. And I'm going to pop this one up here. And then I've also used this gorgeous little, I think it looks like a snowdrop, but it's off the Fairy Bells set. And again, it's very delicate. Now, if you are stamping something with a long stem, do make sure that the stem keeps on your masking tape. You don't want it to come on the part below. So this part I've gone for the Wild Summer Flowers. Now, I've used silhouettes for the rest. The reason I've gone for this at the base is it's quite a light stamp, and I thought it balanced it nicely without it being too heavy at the bottom. But honestly, you'll be like me and you'll have great fun looking through all your stamps to see which ones you're going to use. Now, you know I adore poppies. So this one is off the group poppies, and it's just the lovely seed heads, the poppy heads. So I'm going to pop that there. And again, it looks nice if it comes off, you know, sort of the design coming off the page. That always looks lovely. And then what I want to do is just stamp on the poppies and our lovely little small shrooms. I just want a little bit of foliage. I was thinking of using my orchard grass, but in all honesty, it looked too large. So I've gone for this stamp, and this is off the foliage set. And it's like the little stick, sort of twiggy one here. And it's probably the one I use least off the set. But you know what? When I need it, I think it really comes into its own. Works well with the tree trunks if you just want to add some extra little twiggy bits sticking out. Might just add a little bit to the Fairy Bells as well. Just, you know, just that little bit, I think, just finishes it off. And then lastly, at the top, this is a lovely dragonfly on the bug set. I was going to use the little butterfly, you know, my favourite, and I thought, no, stop, look at your others. It's naughty to have favourites. So I'm thinking add that one. And like I say, you're going to have great fun actually looking round and deciding what you're going to use. So pastel pencil time, and I just want to add a few little highlights. Just with the lovely pastel. You know I love my pastel. And just under the word nature, I'm thinking I just want to ground it a little. Now, I need to know how many of you noticed the bird with his longer legs. Or is it just me? Is that the way my head works? I need a bit more shade just under that leg, don't I? And then what we'll do, just want to add some water splats. Now, you can leave it like this, or you could add some Posca splats. Totally up to you. I'm thinking just want a little bit of that faux bleaching. But I think it's such a lovely shape. So, fan brush. I've got a piece of kitchen roll just in case I end up with too big a splats that I'm not keen on. I'm going through a bit of a phase of doing that. Don't know why, but hey ho. So I've got my kitchen roll ready. What I have discovered is if I want some splats and I just haven't got any there, I just come in with my brush look and just add some. And this will just give a bit more interest in the background. Try not to over wet it. If possible, we don't want it to leak under the masking tape. Now I say we don't want it to, because do you know what, if it has, well, I'm going to say that's what I wanted. Now I'm blotting mine just because I just want it part of the background. I don't want it to be very bright and white, and I don't want it going under if possible. So give it a good blot, and then I'm going to come in with my heat tool, so it will be a little bit noisy. Two things, this will just finish off the drying, but also it'll help that masking tape. Lavinia masking tape is lovely, it lifts up anyway, but just using your heat tool will make it lift up even easier. And you know, we go for anything that makes it easier for us, don't we? Well, I do. So that should be just perfect there. Look how it's all. Now I've got the two little pencil marks. So with my rubber, look, I just want to very carefully rub off those little pencil marks. Lovely. And then a couple of little finishing tricks. Let's come in with this is the Signo, this is the metallic, and this is the bronze. Just, I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to add too much colour. Now again, you could colour the pot if you wanted, but I'm just going to come in with a little bit of the bronze. And on the flower head here, like I say, I'm not going to overdo it. And then with the white, I've added my pastel, and I'm just going to add a little bit more. So with my highlights, I'm using the pastel for the main, but just coming up to add a little bit with the pen as well. So I'm sort of using the two. And then on our lovely wild summer flower here, look. Now again, you could add some stickles if you wanted, some of our lovely holographic glitter. I'm just going to stick with the white. I want it quite flat, really. I just want the design to speak for itself rather than add too much embellishments. Now, you could add extra stickers if you want, but I just love that. I just think it's something different, and I've had great fun creating that. And I love this white here. So I really hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you have a play with your low-tack masking tape and just show me what you create. If you want to check out, I did a video a while ago where we created a hexagonal shape using our square sticker stencil and then just adding, or just your low-tack Lavinia tape and adding a bit extra on the corners, and you get a hexagonal. Honestly, I just know you're going to have so much fun and really enjoying creating all these shapes, designs. Can't wait to see what you do. Please tag me in. Right, I'm off now for my coffee. You take care. Thanks for being here. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.